Okay, so in today's video about XRP, we are going to do a complete short-term Elliott Waves analysis and see what is happening in here, because I do believe right now XRP is at a major crossroad. That's why I want to do today a bullish and also a bearish Elliott Wave analysis and tell you what needs to happen in the short term that could potentially tip the scales towards the bearish or maybe the bullish possibility. So with all that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a great time with your family and loved ones. And the last time that we talked about this chart, I think we were somewhere around these areas, and the idea was maybe even we are going to have a move on the upside, but that is probably not going to be a good sign, because odds are that move might be part of a correction structure, indicating overall our move down in the short term is not over, and we may see something like this. And as you can see, we didn't even get this move up in XRP. Now, at the moment, I think XRP is at a major crossroad. So we're going to do a bullish and also a bearish count. And we're going to start with the bullish scenario, actually. You see, we talked about this in the previous updates. This can be from the highest side all the way up here, about $2.6, and A, B, C structure down, followed by that. I still believe this is a WXY in form of, I don't know, maybe like a flat and a zigzag. And then what is going on in here, I'm gonna say we may have yet another A, B, C zigzag down. And in terms of the sub waves, you know it if you are a regular viewer. 5 wave down into a correction, 4 wave B, maybe ABC, maybe WXY, and yet another 5 wave on the downside into our CLIC. Let's go on the live chart and see what is happening. So I do not believe that there is any doubt in anybody's mind that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down. Followed by that, what is happening in here? I'm gonna say now this is from this point an A, B, and a 5 wave impulsive structure on the upside into our CLIC. Basically, this is a running flat structure. Now, in XRP, this might be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down, and there is kind of an argument to be made that we have actually hit the low. Why? Because these on a higher degree can be the sub waves for an A, B, C zigzag down, which on a higher degree even it's gonna be into the Y leg of a WXY, you know what, in form of a double zigzag. And this scenario overall suggests we are having a correction down, and soon, maybe even from the current point in XRP, we can get a big move on the upside in order to continue our uptrend. And hopefully this time we are going to get a break of this important resistance between $2.5 to about $2.7. And again, why is this important? You know it. Above here, we really do not have a whole lot of strong resistances. So I'm going to argue the moments that we break this level, the next target in XRP is going to be about like 20-30% higher bare minimum, somewhere around, let's say, the all-time high about $3.5 to $3.6. Personally, I think we are going to go overall quite a bit higher than that. Maybe in the short term, like a $4 to $5 XRP is not going to be really that unreasonable. Now, here's a very important point. This scenario at the moment is not confirmed yet. When will it get confirmed? When we get from the current point a move on the upside in order to take especially this important high for the first target about $2.3, and more importantly take this high about $2.5. Why? Let's say, okay, we are going to get a move up and then we are going to take these highs. At that point, here's the deal, finding a 5 wave in here is going to be extremely challenging, which will basically validate this possibility, this bullish count even more. So again, if you want to be optimistic in XRP, just for like the very short term, you need to see a move up, hopefully starting from the current point, in order to at least take this important high about $2.3. As long as you're not seeing that, I think you need to be a bit careful. And this was our bullish count. Now, what about the bearish scenario? Let's go around here. You see, if you want to argue, we're gonna have our final low around this region. Maybe this is like a very important support. Fair enough. Then you need to be able to find off of the lowest line here a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave on the upside. This specific example is an impulse. Rules for it are we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5 wave, wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. This is a big no-no in Elliott waves. Why is this important? Let's go on the live chart. Maybe, yes, it's best to zoom in a little bit more. Okay, pay attention to what is happening here. I think from the lowest low, we absolutely have a 5-wave up to about this point, and we counted the subwaves in here so many times. This is, from my point of view, definitely a 5-wave on the upside. Followed by that, I'm thinking this is an A, B, C zigzag down, and yet another 5-wave up. And so far, I can tell you, maybe we are having a 1-2 setup if we are bullish and the low is already in. This can be 5-wave up into a wave 1, correction for wave 2, and what's going to happen next if this is happening? Hopefully a massive move up into wave 3, 4, 5, which on a higher degree even might be into wave 3, and then correction for 4, another move on the upside into wave 5. But wait a minute, earlier I said now we are going to talk about the bearish scenario. You see, the bearish count in XRP is kind of going to get confirmed the moment that we see a move on the downside, and in it we take this important low right in here about, let's say, $2.07. And let's just hide everything. As you can see, in this phase down, we did pretty much reach to about this low, but we haven't really taken it yet. So I'm gonna say the bullish scenario can still be in play, do not get me wrong, but if you want to remain optimistic in the short term, then okay, under any kind of circumstances, you should not see another move down in order to take this low, because at that point, we're going to say this is an ABC zigzag, meaning our move down is not really over yet. And there is a chance that we're going to see a continuation of this short-term downturn in order to, who knows, possibly even take the lowest low down here about $1.6. Now, let's say we do take this low. Does this scenario have to happen? The answer is no. But at the same time, I am willing to bet that also doesn't mean that from here we are going to have a massive move on the upside. No, at best, if we take this low, okay, we can expect at least some more chopping around for like another couple of weeks. And then, okay, assuming that we find the right subwaves, okay, fair enough, we can have another move on the upside. But if we do take this low, at that point in XRP, we need to be a bit more patient and also very much careful, because that is going to open some doors to more downward price action. And that is kind of the key from my point of view. So let's have a quick conclusion and wrap up today's update. XRP at the moment is at a major crossroad. Why? Because right in here, we are extremely close to confirm some sort of a bearish count, suggesting that overall we're not having at least a series of 1-2s. And that scenario will get confirmed the moment that we get a move down and take this important low. On the other hand, if you want to remain optimistic and say the low is in, and from here we are having an impulsive structure, you know what, fair enough, then what you need to see is starting, hopefully from the current point, another strong move up in order to take this high for the first target, about $2.3. But I'm gonna say the more important high is actually right in here about the $2.5 region. Why? Again, we said it earlier, if we do take the highs, at that point finding a 5-wave in here is going to be a bit of a challenge, and at least we can remain optimistic and say, you know what, maybe these are a series of 1-2s, and if that scenario is happening, our move up in XRP hopefully is going to accelerate very much. And I'm hoping at that point we are going to finally get a break of this important resistance area, because now this is quite a weak region. Why? You see, if you want to go 100% according to the books, they tell you the more that we touch a resistance area, that region becomes much more important and it adds basically validity to it. However, from my point of view, the story is kind of the opposite. The more times that we touch a resistance area, sure, that does add more validity to the region, but when it breaks, that is the key. And here's a very important point. The reason for why this area can act as a resistance is because around it we are having some major short positions. So let's say people have put in here initially 10 short orders. The first time that the price touches this region, 5 of those orders are going to get activated, and as a result, we are having only 5 orders remaining. Another time we're going to touch this area, another 2 are going to get activated, we're only having 3 orders. Another time we're going to touch it, another 2 are going to get activated, we are only having 1 orders in here. And there will be a time when we are going to touch this region and there will be no orders, and at that point, you probably have to count on a break of the resistance. Okay, that is very, very important. And now let's go on the live chart and count the amount of times that we touch this region in XRP. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times we are touching this region, and every single time we are getting some sort of a reaction from it. So the next time that we reach to about the resistance, I'm willing to bet we are most likely going to get a break of it, and at that point the next target, you know what, it's gonna be the all-time high, at least about $3.50. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in XRP's price chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.